it truly is time for us to ask ourselves, what the hell is going on with Israel? And I mean that wholeheartedly as a person who has spent his entire adult life as, I guess you're going to label me a conservative or a Republican. I'm not a registered Republican, but I don't think that I've ever voted Democrat in my life. But those of us on the right, a lot of us are free thinkers. I would say in general that we engage in less groupthink. But right now are some examples of it. And, that's not always the case. I probably shouldn't generalize. But right now, there are a whole lot of us on the right that are starting to question some things. And this isn't the first time that this has happened. And I'm going to give you an example in the past to kind of give all of this some context. Back after 9/11, our entire country came together. I'd say that's probably the last time that our entire country came together. It didn't matter whether you were a Democrat, a Republican, a conservative, a liberal. Everybody was angry. Everybody was hurt. Everybody wanted to put our country first. And they wanted to go after the bad actors that attacked our country and attacked our people. And, of course, those of us on the right absolutely believed what we were being told by our government at the time while George W. Bush was president. For the most part, there were some exceptions. Man-cow was an exception. I remember that even then. He was one of the people that was critical of the Patriot Act, one of the people that was critical on the right of this weapons of mass destruction claim. However, most of us put our faith in the people that we had chosen to lead our country and lead our party and our movement at the time. And we followed the military-industrial complex, let's be honest, right through the gates of war and went right up marching to the gates of hell as we sent yet another generation of our young people to Afghanistan, to Iraq, to engage in wars in which, at the end of the day, we gained nothing, we accomplished nothing, we spent our blood and treasure, we ruined the lives and took the lives of many of our young American, mostly boys, but some girls, people that willingly did this because they had an undying love for our country, just as I did at the time. Well, many of us over time realize that we're lied to on the right now. And you see that with a lot of the younger people in the MAGA conservative movement. Trump, I think, was probably the first prominent person running on the Republican side to say this was a lie. And so a lot of people on the left didn't understand why there was this huge gravitation toward Trump, even by people that had previously voted Democrat or were independent and had previously voted for Obama. And that was why, because we realized that he was right about something that previous conservatives, previous Republicans were absolutely wrong about when it came to our foreign policy. And over time, real free thinkers, people like Tucker Carlson, really started to unmask for us the military-industrial complex that had been operating behind the scenes. And meanwhile, that same military-industrial complex had learned how to capture the Democratic Party, where before they had primarily captured the Republican Party. Now they've gotten really good at being the deep state and playing both sides. Well, in that same vein, we now have to start to take a look at our what's the word I'm looking for? Undying love for? No, that's probably not it. We have to start looking toward our unconditional support of the state of Israel. And we have to separate that from how we feel about the Jews as a people, or Jewish people, whether by ethnicity or by faith. Because there is a difference, just like there is a difference between the U.S. government and the American people. And I think that most of us gave Israel the complete benefit of the doubt on October 7th, just like we gave our own government the benefit of the doubt on September 11th, and now some of us doubt that. And we have to look at the reaction. Now, if their reaction was to pursue peace, we're way beyond that. That's just the bottom line. And some of us are starting to see that we're way beyond that. What happened on October 7th was disgusting, assuming that all of it was true the way that the state of Israel claims it's true, which I'm not saying it wasn't or it was. I don't know enough. But I do know, from everything that I've learned in recent months, that the Israeli government really operates, the Israeli intelligence agencies really operate a propaganda campaign inside our country that is so deep and so profound and has so much control over what's going on in our government that we really absolutely need to be aware. There's just no way around it. We need to be aware. And we have to start asking questions about our support for Israel and what Israel is doing. And I'm not saying that we should be giving them support or that we shouldn't be giving them support, but the United States of America shouldn't be giving anybody unconditional support and not asking questions, and certainly not a government that is engaged in a propaganda campaign within our own borders toward our own people. So, in recent months especially, some people have been very outspoken. Candace Owens. By the way, everybody says that Candace Owens has lost her damn mind. No, she has not. I watched her podcast today on Charlie Kirk's assassination, and I challenge you to watch it with an open mind and an open heart, and listen to the whole thing. Don't just watch what people say she said. Just like you shouldn't watch what people say Charlie Kirk said. You shouldn't believe what people say Tucker Carlson said. And you shouldn't take little quotes out of context. Really listen to it with an open heart, whether you are a Democrat or a Republican. Here's the thing. We suddenly have some prominent conservatives who are starting to doubt President Trump's policy, Marco Rubio's policy, with regard to Israel, and the fact that there's no daylight between him and Bibi Netanyahu, and the fact that we've been given this unconditional support to a country that there's more and more and more evidence that what they're really doing is rubbling. That's the term that they use for the Russians in Ukraine. What the Israelis are doing is rubbling all of the Palestinian areas, and that they are just indiscriminately killing children. Now, my original contention is, well, of course, Hamas is using these children as human shields, and these children are unfortunate collateral damage that is being caused by Hamas, not by Israel. But I'm starting to doubt that. Tucker Carlson is starting to doubt that. Candace Owens definitely doubts that. And I think that Charlie Kirk was starting to possibly come to the same conclusion. Now, early on, we had all of these protests, all of these riots going on at these campuses by a bunch of blue hair, nose ring wearing, furry outfit wearing, some of them wearing headscarves, whatever, people that seemed unhinged in their criticism of Israel. And I thought these people were crazy. But guess what? Israel wasn't scared of them, because Israel knew that these people appeared crazy. And, of course, people like Bill Ackman were able to really get on their high horse about anti-Semitism and all of that. And honestly, even if their message is right, harassing Jewish kids in college isn't really getting your message across. But they really weren't damaging the Israeli movement or Israel's ability to do what it wants. But a conservative, a prominent conservative, completely popular with the young kids who are forming this new conservative movement. Him questioning that in very much the same way that people like Tucker Carlson, people like me, have now questioned whether or not Iraq was the right thing for us. All right. Conservatives questioning that and turning the conservative ship away from unconditional support of Israel's actions. That can be dangerous to them. And there are a lot of unanswered questions about this assassination, a lot of them. And we're going to find that there's no way this kid acted alone. There's no way. Right down to the guy claiming he did it and getting himself arrested and creating a diversion while this young gunman's getting away. Now, Charlie Kirk has been debating liberals on policies like transgender policies, abortion, whether or not school is a scam, for a very long time, and nobody's killed him. But in the last couple of months, he has platformed people that the Israelis are pissed about. Tucker Carlson, one of them, another prominent Jewish figure, can't think of his name, who's criticizing Israel's actions. And they realize that if Charlie Kirk is platforming them and he's starting to say some things in agreement with them, we are talking about a man who could sway the Trump administration's policies. And that's something that Israel can't afford to have happen. So I'm not saying that they're behind this. I'm not saying that they're not behind this. But I'm saying that if you're not open to the possibility of this, you're missing something. And I think that we should keep our eyes and ears open and really, really pay solid attention to that. And by the way, if you're a liberal and you're listening to this, know this and accept this. A lot of us conservatives are very open-minded. We allow ourselves to be persuaded when the facts lead us there. This is something that you should be better at doing as well, because if we're able to have open dialogue with each other and present facts, and facts tend to lead people, if they're the same facts, to the same conclusion. And if you want a country that's going to have more unity, then we have to continue to have discussion and follow facts. But that means you have to be willing also to follow facts, even if they lead you away from something you previously believed, which is what's going on with us right now. And if you do that, we're all going to be better off for it.